On to this discussion now. Taxi commuters in Soweto again having to make alternative plans today due to a 3-day stay away. Now this is due to a dispute for routes. This is between Nancefield-Dube and Witwatersrand taxi associations, which previously resulted in violence. Let's speak now to the transport authorities in Gauteng. The Gauteng MEC of Transport is Kedibone Dial-Tlabela. MEC, good evening to you and thank you for your time. Firstly, let's deal with this specific dispute. How long has it been going on for? And there's now the question of commuters who are stranded.
Thanks, Goli, and good evening to the viewers at home and to yourselves and the team here. I'm told this is as old as Ntate Msungutu's time. That's how old I
remember him very well.
That's how old the matter is. And from time to time, I think it's one of the MECs that at that point was firm on the issue, closed the ranks, did everything that the legislation empowered him to do, and the violence subsided. Same applies to MEC Vadi and MEC Mamabolo. So it's an issue that almost all MECs in Gauteng gets to be faced with.
Yeah.
So when they feel the pinch, then they stop fighting. And it doesn't mean that the fight has, or the violence has stopped, because from time to time, after a while, they start again. And what we were trying to do this time around was to try to bring them to the table, to say it can no longer continue. Ordinary citizens, we've lost a lot of lives of ordinary citizens, those who are not involved in the business, but those who are commuters and those who are their clients, and our citizens as South Africans. And families are crying. I'm getting a lot of messages from women organizations, young people, young women who are using these taxis, who are complaining, faith-based organizations in Soweto, and community-based organizations that MEC assist us. And we tried to bring them to a table. They reached a stalemate. They met on their own. If you can remember the other time when I was here, they promised that they are meeting the following day and requested that I should not gazette my intent to suspend their operating licensing. And that was the Easter weekend. Yeah. And it was on condition that they silence the guns. But they still continued after Easter weekend. And that's why you have seen, since we pronounced our intent, we've intensified law enforcement visibility in the area, but also to ensure that everybody who's on that road is compliant.
Right.
And that's what we're struggling with. We're struggling with men, elderly men who are refusing to come to the table to discuss the challenge and for all of us to come up with a solution to it. They are choosing to resolve it through guns, and we can't allow it. If they want to do it, maybe they must go to a mountain to do it, because we don't want ordinary citizens to be caught up in their fire.
Context is important here, let me see. There is a version that says there is a stay away. Yours is that the routes are suspended. Which of the two wins the day? What exactly is going on right now?
Look, Goli, they've got the right to do a shutdown. We are in a democratic country, but shutdown can't be used as a threat to all of us, including government and the ordinary citizens. We are saying the issue is not yet resolved, because they are continuing to fight, and we are saying to them, come to the table. They had promised that they wanted to negotiate, but as and when we tried to negotiate, the stalemate remain. We tried to make sure that they meet on their own to try and resolve the matter. They are still not finding each other. They are agreeing that they are disagreeing. And in their disagreement, they continue to do what they do best, that is killing one another. And that's why you see us invoking Section 91 of the NLTA. We have gazetted it, and we are now acting on the matter. The they have a right to strike when they want to strike, but they must know that South Africans in Gauteng have a right to alternative transport as and when they are not able to provide it, bona, as the taxi industry. And we are saying, we're apologizing to the people. It's a painful process, but this is what they also requested us to do, to be firm and make sure that there's law and order in the industry. Right. So it's going to be painful. We apologize. We're trying to work closely with other entities of government to ramp up their services like the Metro Rail, to the e-hailing services. We are saying there's law enforcement agencies on the ground. They will assist you as and when you are stopped. To people, you can do lift clubs, because these are people who say we are doing shutdown, then the next thing they don't want people to go to work.
Exactly.
So they have the right to strike. They must strike if they want to strike, but they must allow people to go to work.
At the same time, you have suspended these routes. They remain suspended.
They will remain suspended.
All right. There is a view from them. I spoke to Santako last night, and they were saying, as much as there is this dispute that two associations cannot operate the same route, that's the nub of the issue. However, they do say that there are officials within the Transport Department that go out of their way to give these permits to people that they ought not give it to. And that, I would think, it means that there's corruption that, in essence, ferments this very violence that you are concerned about. How do you deal with that?
I forgot, because I wanted to deal with that first. There's a weakness in the system, weaknesses in the system for quite some time. And we have done, and when I was here the last time, I told you that we were checking the patterns of when these fraudulent activities happened. And we are now working on ensuring, one, there's change management that we are implementing as a department. Two, they're looking into the weaknesses in the systems. Because some of these cases, because I had to study hard, the 17 officials that are charged now, SIU was involved. We're now wanting to work with the South African Insurance Crime Bureau to help us with the assessment of the cases and go deeper into what really transpired. But one of the things that happens is that some of the people who committed these fraudulent activities are no longer in the system. So it means people left with some codes, and one of the cases is the permit was created outside the department, outside working hours, on a weekend in an internet cafe. The face value papers that are used to create permits are continuously stolen. So we're working closely with our law enforcement agencies like the SIU. Like I say, as a department, we have an MOU with the South African Insurance Crime Bureau to assist us to go deeper into this thing and improve the system to make sure that we cap the fraudulent activities that are happening. But you can't say there's fraud and corruption and therefore we are continuing to fight. We are dealing with that matter. They must stop fighting. They must come to the negotiating table so that we resolve the matter. I am saying, I was the first one to say, I think the system has failed you to an extent, because me and you can't be given the same permit to operate on the same route. Obviously, there's a conflict, and it's an old conflict. Let's come to the table. Let's look at the solutions on how do we work together to resolve the challenge. The challenge these associations have is that they are expecting me to listen to one over the other. I can't. They are all having court orders, by the way. And court orders is ordering this one that is your, you must work without any interruption, threats, and then the other one also that's your route. And to me, yes, the courts have decided, but both of them are sitting with these orders. Who do I favor?
You are the ultimate authority.
Correct. I am governing.
You're the ultimate authority. You are the government. You have to lay down the law. What happens now, because not so long ago, social media was awash with pictures of a person lumped over in a car that is riddled with bullets. Those are the type of images that are being sent around, and so that tells you that the killings have not stopped, they're not going to stop, and what's worse is that the commuter is going to be collateral damage in no time. What happens now?
Look, Koli, I said to the team we need a permanent alternative solution. Alternative transport to people of Gauteng in that part of Gauteng. You know, the sad part is we did an operation, I think 4 or 5 days ago, when we started on Thursday, Friday, from 3 o'clock in the morning. And let me tell you, we found vehicles, taxis, with many unlicensed firearms. The taxis that we have impounded are not having operating licenses. And you tell me, are these people who are really wanting to work? Are these business people? Because that's a business. Remember, we've got the right to choose as commuters. And when they themselves don't respect the fact that they are in the public service, in the public transport service, and they must treat their clients and commuters with respect. I mean, the squads they have in taxi ranks, individuals that are not known, who are they, where do they come from, parading guns in our taxi ranks, where we expect girl children to be moving around and boy children to be, women with children to be moving around, and there's a gun paraded as if we're not in South Africa. We can't accept that. And these are the conditions we're giving them, and they are refusing. They are a law unto themselves, and I think they are wanting to threaten that they'll do a shutdown, and that's why I'm saying to people of Gauteng, it will be painful to get law and order. We are working closely with our law enforcement agencies to make sure that we instill law and order. We are still open to them to say, come to the table. There must be a solution. And from time to time, I'm promised by the provincial structures that let's meet, MEC, avail yourself. I've availed myself, but they always go to meetings where they can't even resolve among themselves. You know, one of the leaders said to me in one day that, MEC, we are leading people that are so powerful that as the leadership, we must start to walk on eggs without breaking them. What is that?
Wow. Perhaps as a parting shot, do you think as a province, you simply out of options now? Is it time to involve national government, whether it be the transport department at a national level or even the police at national level? What exactly is going to solve this?
We're working with all our law enforcement agencies, including the intelligence of this country, to resolve the matters. We're now going to a meeting with them also to just look into the planned shutdown and look at what are the plans on their side. We are capable, and that's why I'm saying we're still open, because we are hopeful that they are going to find it in their hearts that it's time to really stop the war and silence the guns. They can't continue like this. We need to save them from themselves. These are people who say to me, and who said to me, MEC, help us to stop killing each other. So they had confidence in me, and I still believe they have confidence because they have given me that mandate to help them stop killing each other. These are men, when they leave their households, they kiss their loved ones goodbye because they are not sure whether they will come back. We can't live like that. And I am saying to them, come to the table, hand over the guns. Let us help you. We need you. We need them, of course. We need to protect the industry from infiltration. But we love South Africans. We love people of Gauteng. We need to protect them first.
Right.
So we are open, and we are inviting them to come to the table. We are still very available. They know they can find me any time of the day.
Kedibone Dial-Tlabela is the MEC of Transport here in Gauteng. Thank you very much for your time, MEC.
Thank you very much, Toli, and good evening to the people of Gauteng and South Africans. We are hoping that you are praying with us. It's a painful process. We will all feel pain, but we must stop the war in the taxi industry.
All right. Let's hope that those words are going to be heeded at some point. Valen Kirtley has a final look at your sport.